Hey everyone, that other guy here, and today I want to showcase my game that I've called The King's Escape. It's a 3D FPS game, and it's set in the olden days in a castle. The game was designed in Magic of Voxel, which is a program that allows you to build 3D objects from smaller cubes. So you can see that with the menu here, it's got little blocks and everything, cute. And I think this adds to the unique feel of the game as you get high quality visuals, but you also get a pixel art style. And overall, I think that fits well within the game. So let's hop into the game. The inspiration for which was that one time I was at a castle. So the basic premise of the game is that you are a king and you had a castle, and then you got overrun by some futuristic thugs, and they took you and threw you in a cell in the dungeons and then started upgrading the castle with their futuristic technology. Because that's the thing. Anyway, this means that the overall feel of the game is a weird mix between medieval castles and futuristic technology and weapons, and a little bit odd. The core of the gameplay we can basically break down to moving, jumping, sprinting, and shooting, where shooting is basically the core mechanic in the game. So, sum it up, you basically need to use your weapons to fire at targets, and then that activates things. So, running through here, you can still see that pixel art and everything, instructions, and then, yes, you get to your levels. You can see your little targets everywhere that you need to hit. And then in terms of the core mechanic in the King's Escape, you basically get red guns, blue guns, yellow guns, orange guns, but at the start of each level the player only has access to blue and red, where blue is basically a little standard normal weapon, you can see it flies, and then red is more of a long range weapon, so you actually use that for longer range shots. So something like that, you can't get to it with blue, but you can do that with red. And then these blocks come up, and then yes, the player starts with the red and blue gun, and to build on this mechanic, they also get access to yellow and orange guns, which they can get by getting power-ups that'll be in and around the levels that they can then find and use. And then also there's some ideas of the futuristicness in the game. But then if I go back to blue, you'll see blue, very standard weapon, red is your long range weapon, and then yellow uses anti-gravity, so that actually floats up, which I think is pretty cool. And you get orange, which is just a sticky bullet, so it just sticks wherever you shoot that. And I'll show you a snippet just now of why that's important in this game. So cue snippet, little snippet here. So you can see we have a target down here. You can shoot it, it opens and closes the doors, you can stand on it, same thing. But the problem is, in most levels or areas like this, there won't be anything for the player to actually put on this button to keep it active. So that's an example of an area where something like the orange bullet is probably your best or only option, because you can shoot that and the door stays open and then this disappears after a certain amount of time, and then the door closes again. So you can shoot that, and that gives you enough time to actually pass through the obstacle before it disappears and then closes it. End of little snippet. Back from snippet. So you can see here that we have a little target there. So the big thing is thinking of the mechanic. You think, how am I supposed to get to that? And the most logical answer would be something that floats up, so like an anti-gravity round. So if you use that, you see you can hit those. And then the same thing with that, red, yellow is not going to hit that target, orange is not going to get there, so you have to use your red gun, so your long range rifle. And that's the basic idea in the game, is that the player has access to everything that they need, and then they themselves will need to figure out how they can use the core mechanic of the different weapons and their abilities to actually solve and finish the levels. And that's basically all of it. Let me just run through here. And then also we are working on some enemies and a final boss level, so that's something exciting that's coming, and that just gives the player a bit more to do in the game. They can actually partake in some combat and also probably die. So I think that's very fun. And that's basically a quick rundown of The King's Escape. And thank you for watching, and have a good day.